We all need to remember to put ourselves first, to take care of ourselves so that we are there to take care of other people. I mean, the more we love ourselves, the more love we have to give.
Right now, we're in one of the best places for fashion, shopping, film, television, and where Vision In Vogue was created. But there's one show that really put this town on the map: Beverly Hills 90210. And JENNIE GARTH was a major part of the series, playing one of the main characters, Kelly Taylor. But since being on one of the most iconic TV shows ever, JENNIE became a wife, a mother, and now entrepreneur, launching a clothing line called Me and a podcast called I Choose Me. So it's giving she's in her me season, and I'm here for it. Now we're heading to JENNIE's house to talk to her about this new era. Thank you so much for inviting me into your beautiful home. It's so cozy in here.
Oh, yes. Well, we live here. So I like to be cozy.
Yeah. When I saw that you were starting a podcast, the name of that podcast literally hit me. Those 3 words, I choose me. Because for whatever reason, it seems like it should be something that's pretty simple. It is not always easy to choose yourself. What happened in your life that made you get to a point where you were like, if I'm going to live, I want to live for me?
It took a while. You know, I spent a lot of time raising children, kids, girls, my daughters, and I really committed myself wholeheartedly to that, and I gave them everything. I still do, but now they're older and they need me a little less, and I'm able to, you know, focus a little bit more on the things that make me happy and the things that I want to do. So that's like a big I choose me situation. But there's people out there that don't even know how to choose themselves. Like, they've been so programmed over so many years of taking care of other people and putting other people first. It's a message that I think is really important, especially to women, but also to men. I mean, we all need to remember to put ourselves first.
Would you say that as an actress, there were times where you felt like you were losing yourself in work? For me, I mean, I'm not married and I don't have kids. But I feel
Sounds
like...
nice, sorry.
Is it? Is it? I don't know. I'm waiting
The
on my man.
grass is always greener, but
I'm like, I just want the tracking number for my man.
just
like,
focus
where
on
is he
you. Oh
coming?
my gosh.
Choose me, right?
Take your time.
Yeah. As an actress, especially because you started so young on Beverly Hills 90210, how would you say that affected how you saw yourself just in general?
I would say being on a show and under that kind of scrutiny so young, and throughout my young adult life, I certainly did lose myself. Only because it was always going and getting up at 6 and getting to work and working 14, 16-hour days, going home, getting sleep, going back to work. Like, it was such a cycle of, being professional, learning to be professional. And there was so many people counting on me, so many crew members that I didn't want to let down all the time. So it was very important to me to make sure that I was being professional. So that meant giving up thinking about myself a lot of the time.
Yeah. When the show ended, did you feel kind of off balance because you had been pouring so much of yourself into the show and into doing what everyone knew you for, How did you figure out who you are outside of the show?
Well, it was 10 years and very formative years. Like, I should have been in high school and college and living on my own for the first time, like all those things. But it was so fast-tracked. I was responsible for owning my own home, my first home, when I was 19, I think. And then all the responsibilities that come with that. And once we finished the show, I was, I think, 29, 28. And it was like they flopped you out onto the beach, onto the sand. And you're like, wait, very disorienting. Like, where am I? Who am I? What is this life? I don't understand. But because when you're an actress and you're on a show like that's, any kind of series, it's very demanding. And people tell you when to eat, when to go to the bathroom. They know where you are at all times. And you do stop making choices for yourself, So when the show ended, I had to really adjust to living, a semi-normal life. But luckily, I had my kids. I had one daughter when the show ended. And I just was able to really pour myself into her and focus on her. And that was, I think, what really saved me from sort of going down that typical spiral that you can go down.
Yeah, and a lot of the times in Hollywood, actors that start in their teen years, sometimes that story doesn't end well because of how much of the spiraling. So you're saying that your kids kind of saved you from that.
Yeah, I had my first daughter when I was 23 or 4. And so I wasn't going out to nightclubs, I wasn't like worrying about going to Roxbury or whatever, what are the other Viper room?
I have no idea.
I mean, I've been to them. Those are from the 90s. But I went a couple times and it wasn't for me, like I'm just too much of a homebody.
Yeah. Oh, I am a homebody. I'm a dangerous homebody. It's so funny. When the pandemic started, I was literally like, woohoo, I do this.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was like, joke's on you. I've been quarantining.
I love quarantining.
I love quarantining. So with that said, would you never go back into acting? Did you never at any point say that you wanted to continue on the path of acting, or was that always just like, okay, I'm exhausted, I need to like find myself?
No, I mean, I had to take some time after playing that character for 10 years. I had to take some time and like ground myself and find myself a little bit. But then I went right into What I Like About You. When I turned 30, that was the first year of that show, and that went for 4 years. I had another baby during the run of that show. And I always say I love acting. I really do love acting. I love the moment when everybody's in their position, everybody's doing their job, and it's quiet on the set, and they're rolling, and it's that moment of stepping into someone else's shoes and, genuinely seeing from somebody else's perspective.
Yeah.
And that moment of connecting on camera, that those few moments of on-camera time, I love that part. But it's all the other part that's not fulfilling for me. It's the waiting and the just constantly worrying about your appearance and the fame, all of that. I don't enjoy that stuff. So I started to focus on things that I do enjoy and things that I could control a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because being an actress is, you're waiting for the phone to ring a lot of the time. You're waiting for somebody to hire you or for you to fit into somebody's expectation.
It's like you're waiting for somebody to choose you.
And that was, I think, one of the biggest gifts the show gave to me was that my character said, I choose me. Yes. And I didn't really understand it at that time, like what the real meaning of that phrase was. And it wasn't until I was, doing some work on myself and digging deep and figuring out who I was, that sentence kept coming back for me. And I started to be like, wow, that was deep. Like, that is important, that message. And then something clicked one day, and I wanted to make spreading that message my priority. Like, it's my mantra in life, and I want other people to be able to do that too. So I'm just sort of keeping Kelly Taylor's words alive, keeping Jessica Klein's words alive. She wrote that, and it feels really good.
I can feel just like peace bouncing off of you.
The key to my peace right now is gratitude. I am so grateful for my life and like that I've lasted this long and been able to pay my bills this long and been able to raise my family, and make money for them and take care of them. Like I'm like, hello, you're awesome. There was a long period of my life where I didn't want to shine. Like I felt like I was so lucky, and in other people's eyes, they're so lucky and their life is so
A little
perfect.
guilt, maybe?
I felt like some shame and guilt around it. And it wasn't until very recently that someone told me it's okay to be amazing. And I was like, So I sort of like sat with that, and I liked that.
I do too.
Like, that's
I'm
freeing.
stealing that.
Everybody should get to feel that good about themselves, no matter what they're doing.
It's so funny that you're saying that. I recently had a conversation with one of my friends. She told me I looked pretty. And I said, oh, girl, this is just makeup. And I did that thing.
You deflected it?
I deflected. I was like, what is it about someone saying something positive about me that makes me go, I can't receive that. I can't receive that.
Yeah.
It's okay. It really is okay to think that about yourself.
Yes, you have to.
You have to.
Like, you are your own best friend forever. Yes. And you're your biggest cheerleader. Like, you have to really pump yourself up.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that, combined with just the gratitude, that I feel authentic, I feel, like I'm doing good, and I feel good about that.
I love this season for you. I love this era. I love this era for you. You talked about gratitude. Obviously, what happened with Shannen. I think that anytime you lose someone, it makes you have even more gratitude just for existence, right? How is your heart? How are you?
My heart hurts for sure. And, I take my time sometimes, and I go through the grief because it comes and goes, and like people, it's everybody handles it differently. But for me, it comes up when I'm quiet, or when I'm driving, or, when I'm just sitting kind of contemplating.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good thing to allow your grief to come up and to acknowledge it and to let it process naturally instead of just shutting it down.
Yeah. What would you say is your vision for your life moving forward?
My vision for my life moving forward is the sky is the limit. There is no reason. For a long time, I lived my life thinking, oh, look at her beautiful fashion line, or look at her nice, beautiful skincare campaign, or look at all the good she's doing in the world. Like, that's great for her, but I can't do that. Like, I'm not able to do that.
And now look at you with your own fashion line.
And I just had to switch that dialogue inside my brain. Why not me? I can do it. And so I think that's just going to carry me through. It just feels like the sky is the limit. Like there's no ceiling on my house right now.
That was so perfect and beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really do appreciate you.
Of course, thank you.
How you treat yourself is the foundation that everything in your life flows from. It's not selfish to put yourself first. It's necessary. The world on the outside is way more beautiful when the world on the inside is taken care of. So before putting yourself on the back burner again, consider embracing Jennie's affirmation. I choose me. Your vision is depending on it. Viv.